It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for Season 9 of The Walking Dead. So they just released some set photos from Season 9 of The Walking Dead, which we're going to take a look at. But one thing I do want to mention is that there's going to be no spoilers in this video. These photos are publicly released, so there's no reasons to worry if you're worried about spoilers. So there's going to be really no spoilers in these photos. It's just photos from set of the characters and what the characters are going to look like in this new season coming up. For comic readers, we know that Season 9 is going to be the new beginning story arc, so they're going to have a lot of changes in terms of the atmosphere, the setting, and also the characters themselves. The looks of some of the characters are going to change. So without further ado, let's jump right into these. The first one is one that I actually did a very small video on. Is this photo taken when they started filming Season 9. But we have the hilltop in the background. It is blurry, but it's definitely at the hilltop. So they are shooting at hilltop in this scene. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the first shot of the season. It could be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. But what's very interesting is that we have the water tower in the back. This is a direct connection to the character that we got introduced to in Season 8, Georgie, and the notes that she gave Maggie and the hilltop regarding the key to the future. Of course, she is not in the comics, so she's unique to the TV show. But the water tower that we see at the hilltop is most likely a result of what was written in the notes that Georgie gave Maggie and the hilltop. Next, we're gonna get into some of the character photos. We have this shot of Rick. I absolutely love this shot. Of course, this does definitely tease the time jump, which we have in the comics. With the new beginning story arc, Rick has a shorter hair, much like the comics, and he has a wider, kind of longer beard, which is pretty cool. But I absolutely love what they did with Rick. I'm glad that they didn't make Rick look anything like he did when we were seeing Carl dream about the future with the dream sequence thing. I'm glad that they didn't go that route, that they made Rick look a bit more realistic for TV show purposes. But I absolutely love this new look of Rick. And of course, we're going to see some sort of time jump. Now, we don't know if it's going to be 2 years like the comics or not, but there's definitely going to be some sort of time jump, which is going to be great to see in the show. Next, we have this shot of some characters, some new ones. We have the Savior that was held prisoner originally during All Out War, but it seems like he's staying at the hilltop, which is pretty cool. I think his name is Dylan, but I always get his name wrong, so don't quote me on that. We have another new character with the blue shirt. I'm not sure who he is. Most likely he's a new character. He could be from any community, really, but there's a high chance that he's from the hilltop. But we have King Ezekiel there. We have Rick. We have Jesus. We have Michonne. And we have another new character to the right. Now, I love that they're all on horses, and it seems like they're all traveling somewhere. And as we will see later on in these photos, all the group seems to be together from all of these different communities. We have another shot of Rick and Michonne on the horse. Again, I absolutely love that they're on horses. That just highlights how different of a world it is now compared to All Out War, because during All Out War and even before that, they couldn't really ride on horses that much. At least not all of them at the same time. So that definitely just highlights that it's more peaceful now and everything, which is pretty cool. We have a similar kind of scenario in the comics as well, which is pretty cool that they brought that to the show. But we have many of these photos with Rick and Michonne, so I'm just gonna skip over them quickly. We have this shot of Rick and Ezekiel, and I think that's Jesus to the left. We have this interesting shot of, again, Rick, Michonne, and also Carol in the back. Now, Carol is rocking a hat, which is pretty cool. It's definitely a new look, but she does still have her armor from Kingdom, so that's most likely a hint that she's staying at the Kingdom, which is pretty cool. But also, she is rocking that new hat, which she wasn't wearing before, which is pretty cool, pretty interesting look on her. We have another shot of these characters, two of them which are most likely new characters, but we also have Jesus, Ezekiel, Tara, and Aaron. I absolutely love Aaron's new look here because he has that big ass beard, which is pretty cool. But Jesus is also rocking a man bun. So that's going to be interesting to see. I don't think he had that man bun before. I think it was just long hair, but now he's rocking the man bun, which is pretty cool. We have this very interesting shot of Anne or Jadis and Father Gabriel on a wagon. That's pretty interesting. Father Gabriel looks different, especially with that hat. It's a pretty interesting look on him, but also very cool that Anne or Jadis is with the community now. Like I've said before, she is turning out to be this interesting character, so I'm glad that, you know, she's part of the communities now and she's just with them and everything full time. But this is definitely an interesting pair. If you remember, Father Gabriel was captured by Jadis and the scavengers before the war started, so it's interesting that we have them together here. A closer look. We have this epic photo of Daryl on his bike. He has the crossbow. Daryl doesn't look that different. He looks pretty much the same. He's just rocking the bandana, which is pretty cool. He reminds me a lot of the Daryl from the prison, which is pretty cool. More shots of Daryl. And then this shot of Norman Reedus just having coffee and smoking a cigarette. Of course, they're not filming at this point, so they're just taking a break most likely. And then this shot of Greg Nicotero and Norman Reedus, and this is of course behind the scenes. The fact that Greg Nicotero is there may mean that he's directing the first episode back, which is epic. I'm absolutely stoked for the first episode. Even more now that I know Greg Nicotero is directing it, because he's been directing some of the most iconic episodes. We have this photo of Tara, Jesus, and I think that's Aaron in the left as well. Another photo of Carol, and another one of Ezekiel and Rick. We have more photos of Michonne and everybody in the back. So this basically highlights that all of them are together. So they're all traveling together. We have this shot of Melissa McBride as Carol, but what's interesting is that she seems to have cut her hair, so her hair seems to be shorter than what it was before in season 8, so that's very cool. We have this photo of King Ezekiel, and also this one. And we have this photo of people on the wagon with the horses. We have Enid, Maggie, Siddiq, and Cindy from Oceanside. If you don't know, Siddiq in the comics was actually from Oceanside. So it's interesting that Cindy, one of the members of Oceanside, is there with Siddiq. But we have, of course, Maggie there. But at this point, we don't know whether Maggie is pregnant or not because we can't see her stomach. But I'm pretty sure that at this point, she shouldn't be because there's going to be a time jump, depending on how long the time jump is going to be. But basically all of the photos. Again, love everybody's new look, especially Rick. But also, I love the new vibe that we're getting where everyone is traveling together. They're just on horses and everything. It seems peaceful and everything, so that's pretty cool. But the fact that everyone is traveling together may give us a hint because, like I said, it's everybody. So all of the members from different communities, from Oceanside, from Alexandria, from Kingdom, from Hilltop, and even Jadis or Anne from the Junkyard, which no longer exists probably. But that does give us some sort of hint that they might be traveling to the fair. Of course, if you're a comic reader, you know that there's going to be this big fair during A New Beginning. So that's most likely where they're all going. They're going to that fair. I absolutely love these photos. Very cool. Gets me very excited for season 9. And, you know, we probably will get more of these types of photos by the time the trailer drops. So that's going to be great. But that's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for future uploads. Like the Facebook page of this channel to join our Walking Dead community. Join us live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for a Q&A session. See you all there.